feel that 187 horsepower.
I'm waiting.
You're
to
waiting
feel.
for it, aren't you? There it is. Now it's there.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's
This
it,
is
huh?
the new mid-trim of the Hyundai Tucson, but it happens to come with the base engine,
Aha.
which is a 2.5-liter, 187 horsepower, non-turbo, and it is frankly not enough. It does come with a 1.6-liter hybrid, which is different, but you know the 0 to 60 of this is almost 10 seconds? Yeah, not fast.
That good,
It's
huh?
that good. You
Wow.
might get in the 9s. You push really hard, dedicate yourself, you might get into the 9s. Yeah.
Great cars, great roads, and all the reasons we love to drive.
Road trips, comparisons, test drives, and podcasts. This is Everyday Driver.
Well, there are vehicles that we've driven, like the Honda HR-V, that have less power than this, but somehow they feel a little bit more spry. They feel, sport.
Sport mode.
Oh.
The gauge has changed.
The gauge has changed.
The throttle response changed a little bit.
My feeling about the car didn't.
Yes, okay. All right, keep going. Spoiler alert.
This needs more power.
Yes, it does.
There are other trim levels, though. Good news.
Uh-huh.
There is the hybrid EV, and then there's the plug-in hybrid EV, and you can even get the Tucson in the N-line configuration.
Yes.
So this is the base, but on the other hand, the way this is spec'd with a gas engine, it's not turbo, it keeps the price down. Just under $35,000, and if you need something for your family, I mean, this is one of those 5-seat SUVs in the sea of 5-seat SUVs on the market.
Yes.
This is one of those that kind of defines that.
The Tucson is Hyundai's best-selling vehicle. More than 7 million sold worldwide. This is
That's
the
a lot.
4th gen. They've sold
That's
a
a
lot of
lot.
Tucsons. Also, it is one of their broadest products as far as what they offer. The most engine configurations and most versions of it is this Tucson. Beyond all of that, the Tucson is also the basis for one of our favorites, the Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
The Santa Cruz is essentially the nose of this and the tail of something else entirely. It's like the mullet version of this vehicle.
I knew I recognized this interior too. This is very Santa Cruz-like. What you're buying with this,
Yes.
it's not necessarily the standout, except in one place.
Okay.
And that's every Hyundai vehicle. That is their warranty. This is the warranty vehicle.
True.
If you have concerns about longevity or roadside assistance, included maintenance, get a Hyundai. This is a right size for growing families. This is a great little SUV. It's not for you. It's not for me. But I see why people are interested in this because it's just a good size. It makes sense.
It does make sense. My problem is this is an incredibly crowded part of the market. And I appreciate the history that Hyundai has with the Tucson. And I appreciate that this is their bestseller in the best-selling market part of the market. I get all of that. The problem is at $34,000 in this market segment, you can do as well or better. Maybe spend a couple grand on either side. Now, your point to warranty holds up.
That's really what you're buying. This is a warranty vehicle.
But you know, I would get, I hate to say it, the CR-V, the RAV4, or two things from Mazda, the CX-5 or the CX-50, I think are all superior to this. They're all similar in size. This is a perfectly acceptable entry into this market segment, but it does nothing that makes me go, oh, look at that.
Oh, no, I'm not saying I love the dynamics or I love anything else about it. I get it, why this sells.
Sure, totally, which this is all of these sell.
Yeah.
The styling is very out there.
Aggressive.
I don't personally like it, but I actually, interestingly enough, like it on the Santa Cruz. I think I like this whole vehicle better in Santa Cruz form because the fact that as a Santa Cruz it's weird and different makes it stand out.
Yeah.
In this spec, in this part of the market, it is under so much competition that I think it comes out as acceptable, but not remarkable at all. This one to me is a solid entrance into the segment. The seats are fine. The interior has way too much piano black.
Oh, yeah,
It's here, it's over here.
Of course.
Guess what it's going to be? Dirty. It's dirty now. It'll be dirty later. It was dirty the moment you bought it.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that genuinely surprised me. First time I opened the hatch, I was like, hey, now, wait a minute. That's a lot of storage.
Okay.
It has a very big back hatch. One of the larger ones in this segment. Decent sized space in the back seats.
Yeah.
So as far as actually being usable, this does that very well. It's got an 8-speed automatic. It's not a CVT. I greatly appreciate that, Hyundai. That is wonderful and a standout thing that makes this better than some of the others out there. I want to love this because there's a lot of Hyundai product we really love and appreciate. I think in this regard, this is fine.
I was thinking about the Santa Cruz, driving around in this, and we really like that. We even kind of like how it drives. I've recommended it as a little bit of fun.
The upper
sprinkled into
trim with the
your ute.
DCT, I mean, that's 40 grand, but it's actually really cool.
Yeah, there is nothing like that character in this.
True.
And the Santa Cruz has a 10-inch longer wheelbase.
Interesting point.
There's no fun to be had.
Maybe you don't need any fun, but there are other more fun things in this segment, though, is the problem.
Yes, I totally agree. There's nothing this doesn't have that others do in terms of the safety features, ease of use,
Or the tech, or whatever. The tech's very good.
What about this is standing out? And in this trim, I don't think there's anything that stands out, and that you should consider, actually, if you're looking for this size, you should pay more and get the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid. Those would be better and justify your dollars and justify paying more.
And at that point, there isn't anything else in this segment you can't go buy.
Exactly
at
right.
At
You're increasing your budget to the point where now you can consider a lot more.
At $34,000, you could argue, yes, but I saved $4 or $5 grand off of the competitors that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
But if you get the engine you should get in this, you haven't saved that money. And now all of those competitors are on the table, and that's a hard place to be. Everybody sells at least 2 5-seat CUVs. Everyone does.
At least.
Are you shopping for a Tucson with any kind of powertrain or maybe a Santa Cruz? Use Autotempest.com to search all the car markets and even research inventory at dealers.
AutoTempest helps you search nationwide across all the used car sites, including Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Plus, you can get email alerts so you never miss a listing.
We use it to research for our podcast, to search for crazy road trip cars, and just because we like to dream. And Autotempest can even help with new cars, pricing out the options and getting local dealer quotes. So if you're looking for a Hyundai Tucson or the Ute equivalent, Santa Cruz, Autotempest.com/everyday can get you the help you need. Autotempest.com. All the cars, one search.
Hyundai's done a lot of really good stuff. I think this is okay.
You got to be a fan of the styling to buy this. In this category, they're all kind of about the same. So what do you like about the styling? Well, that front end is very Santa Cruz. We liked it in the Santa Cruz, but the styling is different in Santa Cruz. It really works. This is so busy. It's over busy.
It is
It's
very busy.
trying too hard to stand out in the market.
And then it has
There's so many surfaces that don't make sense, and they terminate at a point. So your eye goes to this point and it stops.
This has all these like swooping intersecting triangles that meet boxy shapes on the body cladding around the wheels. Whoever was doing cladding was not in the same meetings as the people doing styling.
And there's
The cladding department is just doing boxes over there. We work in boxes. Even the accents, the clad itself is like the clad.
The clad.
The clad itself is boxy, and then the accents are boxes, and nothing else in the car is a box.
And then within the cladding, there's even more detail, more scoops and features and shapes, and it's so busy, it's hard to look at. Hyundai has kind of set the tone for what they're doing.
You're right.
Very aggressive body side. The sheet metal stamping, very, very aggressive. Elantra N.
Yes, for sure, big time.
But then you get into the interior. Very familiar. We like that Santa Cruz. It's very clean, except for this stupid piano black.
Yes.
I wiped it down before this interview, so it looks decent right now.
It does look
but
better
it was
than it did.
nasty and dusty. And the thing I hate the most are these little meat tenderizer roller wheel things.
You don't like
for
the
your
tumblers
thumb.
for the volume knob, do you?
Not even a little bit. They're like the little miniature foot massager roller things. The meat tenderizer, stupid. This is not how human
How do you
ergonomics
feel?
work. The screen is at the right angle for when your fingers meet it. Your knuckles get in the way, and then you can't bend your elbow like this. And then if you try to do it with just a finger, you shoot past. You go too far, either up or down in your tuning, or too far
Then you're going to
in the
smear
volume.
the piano black on the top or bottom.
That is wrong. Honda was eviscerated for not putting a volume knob in the Civic. Then they came back and everybody was like, volume knob. Why change something that works endlessly forever?
Okay.
I do like that it has a shifter. And then right down here, look at the drive modes. This is where you select the drive modes. Nothing about this becomes sporty. The throttle response changes a tiny bit. But then there's diff lock. If you are off-roading in this,
You think you're lost?
you're lost. You're clearly lost.
The nav told me to come here, but look, I've got off-road modes.
Yeah.
I mean, they are trying to make this off-road capable, and they have the suspension
Let's
does make
not
some
try
changes
that. How about
on the
that?
drive mode, but that's not this thing's purpose. I mean, this is at fire road at most, and frankly, the thing that nobody really wants to tell you is that your average car can do a fire road. I hate to say that, but that's actually the truth. Yeah. You ready to drive?
I guess so.
Okay, sure. It's all good.
Battery's turning on. The clad. Come on.
Be careful, you don't have a lot of 0 to 60 to work with here, so
No.
you're going to have some space to get out there.
I don't have a lot of 0 to anything.
Just be careful.
This
Just ease your
vehicle.
way out. Yeah.
turning around. Can I?
You got it.
No,
You-
no,
oh.
I'm going to let him go. He's going to gun me down. I'm not confident in my
Okay, all right.
187 horsepower.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I'm in sport mode. Notice there are no paddles back
Nope.
here.
Nope.
This doesn't need paddles.
True. That is true.
You can use the shifter, but then again, why?
Should
If
you?
you're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do sporty
Yeah, yeah.
driving.
Mhm.
So this is the new Hyundai Toaster Tucson. I knew it started with a T. What are we talking about?
Yeah, you're right. But this is the problem with this segment. Standing out
Yeah.
of this segment is really, really hard.
Yeah, I was thinking about, as I was driving this, there are SUVs that are standouts that surprise us.
Yep.
That Mazda actually ahead of us. Handles decently for
Yep,
what it is.
it does.
The handling on this is sort of like a distracted student. It's
Okay.
daydreaming. It's looking off into the distance. It kind of listens to you. You have to like shake it awake. Like, what? Are you talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. It does not want to stay in its lane. It ponders life. It doesn't pay attention to things. It gets distracted very easily. But if you're buying this for handling, no, I understand.
Yeah, you missed
You
the
want a
point,
vehicle
yeah.
that you don't think about. You want something that has a great warranty. You forgot to do an oil change this year, but
Oops.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll get to it when we get to it, and it just runs, and it's got a great warranty, and the seats
Yeah,
are
fair.
fine,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
upholstery wipes out the textiles. It'll be fine.
I mean, look, this has got good back seat room.
It actually
It's
does.
got really good rear hatch space. All the tech that you expect in a modern car is here. I mean, there is a lot of value for money here. It's
Yeah.
just lacking in personality.
It makes up for that in style, over style.
But
It's like an overactor.
it's chewing the scenery, but it's got bills to pay.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't like how this drives. I need more power. This is the same 2.5 liter in the Santa Cruz base. We told you not to get the Santa Cruz base. Get the one with the turbo.
True. Yeah, yeah.
Why
yeah.
isn't that turbo engine available in this?
In the 1.6 with the hybrid, this would definitely be better. You would solve the
would be.
powertrain issues that we have. It's not going to get any more good dynamically, but that's not the point of it.
But there's so many people who don't buy an SUV for enthusiasm, not realizing that there are SUVs you can buy that actually handle well.
That you feel like, oh, this is really good to
Yes.
drive. This is fine. It's fine to drive. I don't want to overstate the downsides here because there isn't anything fundamentally wrong here. That's the key thing. It's just this is such a competitive area. This Mazda CX-5 drives better and is every bit as luxurious or more.
Let's go look at the Mazda CX-5.
Yeah, we stare at them
Let's
as we go
look at
by.
it.
That won't disturb them at all. We'll both
Hey,
stare
look.
as you go by.
That Mazda CX-5 sure
Mazda
is good
CX-5,
looking.
that's a cool looking car.
Hey, cool looking car. I bet you they're having fun
He's
driving
very
that.
concerned as to why we looked at him. Anyway, yeah.
I wish I liked this more. I wish there was something. Maybe the N line will change things. Maybe that will be the one.
Maybe.
But this one keeps the price down.
Yep.
This is what people buy.
I said it earlier, but we actually passed one earlier as well, and that is, I really like this as a Santa Cruz. We knew that Hyundai couldn't do everything right.
Yeah.
There's cars of
true.
theirs we like, this just isn't one of them.
True.
Get a Santa Cruz.
Get a
That's
Santa
what you
Cruz.
do.
The turbo Santa Cruz.
Looking at the Tucson, buy a Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Be happy. Yep.